So we are going to be wrapping up our driving question that we have been focusing on the last couple weeks, which is, Jason, could you read our driving question?
Yes, what happens to matter in an ecosystem?
Yes, what happens to matter in an ecosystem? And we're pretty comfortable knowing now that what happens. It starts with a D. Out loud, everybody.
Decomposes?
Decomposes, yes. Okay, and we all remember working on our ecosystem model, right? We should get all the arrows and showing the connect. What do the arrows represent? Aaron.
Energy and matter being trapped.
Yes, and which way are we pointing the arrow? Jocelyn?
From the animal to what flow of energy what's going to.
Yes, the arrow is pointing to the species that's getting that energy from. Today, what we're going to be doing is first doing one question together. If you go to the next page, you'll see the top box says reflect. That question you are going to be answering not until I direct you to, on your own. Okay? You will have time to discuss it with your partner, your peer beforehand, but that question you will be answering in your own words by yourself, and it will be checked. But luckily you have many, many pages worth of resources right in front of you. I'm sure the question's pretty similar to a past question we have answered. So you could even look through things that you wrote before and you'll likely be able to answer it off of your own notes, which will feel good, right? You'll know that you're using your own material you gathered from. What? What do we use to cite information? We're taking information from a... Sorry. One word. Where do you take... You're citing evidence from a... Cameron? A text, and a text is an example of
An argument or a claim?
and you're using the whatever text for, let's say, video, something like that to support your claim. But what do we use to?
An article?
An article is an example of this.
A paragraph?
A paragraph could give us some insight, but we're still
Sentence?
a sentence. It starts with an S. Not an excerpt. An excerpt can be an example of this. It starts with an S. What do we gather information from?
Support? No.
You're so close. So
Sword.
you're so close. It's a one syllable word. But you're the closest. Claim starts with an S. So a s-
Oh. Scavenger?
Oh no, a source? A source. A source. A source is something that you are using to gather that evidence and information from, and you're citing evidence from a source. So once you get to middle school and high school, and if you continue on with your education, you're going to likely have a page at the end of an essay you write called cited sources or your sources, and you're going to be listing everything that you used to write that paper. So you're getting practice, and it's something that I'll tell you, even in classes I've taken in college, there are a lot of people who don't know how to use a source to answer a question. So it's a skill that will be very, very helpful for the rest of your education. Okay? All right, a quote from the text, which is an example of a source. Okay, and that quote says, whether they're in the deepest parts of the ocean or on the highest mountain, they offer unique ways to reintroduce nutrients to that system. And do you see the word decomposers are in the brackets? That's giving you context without, because that word is not actually found in the article, but it's just giving you that word so you know what is being talked about. Whether they're in the deepest parts of the ocean or on the highest mountain, they offer unique ways to reintroduce nutrients to that system. So what does this quote tell us about what decomposers do in an ecosystem? Let's turn and talk with our partners, just briefly, like 30 seconds, so each person can answer. What does that quote tell us? And where can we look if we don't remember the question or the quote? Yes, right there on page 102. Whether they're in the deepest parts of the ocean or on the highest mountain, they offer unique ways to reintroduce nutrients to that system. What does that tell us that decomposers do? So it's no matter what type of ecosystem, no matter where it is, decomposers are recycling. Which is what bringing it back. Get back to our full group, so turn towards the front again. This quote. What do we think this tells us about what decomposers do in an ecosystem? What does this quote? Whether they're in the deepest parts of the ocean or on the highest mountain, decomposers offer unique ways to reintroduce nutrients to that system. What does that tell us about decomposers? What do decomposers do?
What do decomposers do?
Yeah. What does that quote tell us about decomposers?
It's kind of like a system. Like if something like dies, then like other animals come and eat it.
So the and then what? But what does that tell us? That energy and matter is being reused or recycled. Yes.
Reused.
Aaron, it is being reused. Yeah.
Decomposers do in the ecosystem is they break down dead animals or dead matters and turn it into nutrients for nutrients.
Yes. So they do, and so basically, that would be the definition of what a decomposer does, which probably helped you answer this question or know what the quote is talking about. But just know if there's a question for all of you guys that's asking you to read the quote and just answer how that quote tells you that about what a decomposer does. It's not asking you for a definition. It's asking you how that text, how that excerpt explains that. Like, what about that is making that obvious? And that reintroducing nutrients is telling us that it's being recycled. Yes?
If a big animal dies from the top of the ocean, the big animal doesn't go unnoticed, so the decomposers use all of that value to use.
Yes, that is what decomposers do. I'm going to make this. I think that we're kind of this kind of question. It can be intimidating, right? But really, what it's asking, what a solid A+ answer would be, could be as simple as decomposers add nutrients back into an ecosystem, right? Because that's what it's telling us. It's telling us that they offer different ways to do exactly that. So you don't have to twist the text at all. You don't have to make your own interpretation. You can literally just say exactly that, using the question in your answer, okay? Let's turn the page. Does that make sense? How that's different than asking a definition?
Yeah.
Kind of, maybe? I know it's new to you guys. It'll be worked on. All right, so this question, which is asking us, are there any decomposers in the ocean ecosystem model? If so, what are they? What part do decomposers play in the ecosystem? So that question we have just been working on through different ways, such as using what type of model? You know? diagram, yes. So looking at that diagram, we know that there are decomposers, right? Because we work on showing how it's being recycled back into the ecosystem. And prior to that, there's that article that also tells you what you're going to be doing is answering that question to the best of your ability. And I know all of you can do it. It's exactly what we've been working on for several weeks now, months, okay? And because we have been also working on not only this information, but sharing our ideas and building off of our peers' feedback and what they believe and their thoughts, you guys are going to be able to talk with your partners first and plan out what you're going to write, okay? And if you want to make notes during that time, you can. That would probably be a beneficial thing to do. Just don't work on the actual question yet. So this time you're going to be given is just to talk with your partner about how you're going to answer the question. And if we don't know the directions, what do we do? No, not ask. Exactly, you can read the question because it is on your paper on page 103. That box that says reflect, that is your question, okay? This is not only based on this lesson, it's based So, were there any decomposers in the ecosystem model that we did yesterday? Yeah? Okay, and what were they? What are decomposers? They are
An organism that makes
If you do not know a word, you can refer to the vocabulary chart.
matter chemically.
Chemically.
On where it says decomposer.
Oh, yeah, that's chemically.
Matter chemically. Okay.
This time is kind of like the studying you were able to do during for your spelling test. Okay, guys, you are going to now be engaged in your own work. So turn towards your desk and work on answering that question. Do you think we're going to be using bullet points and short, just words, or are we using complete sentences?
Complete sentences.
Good. And if we don't know where to start, maybe begin by restating that question, right? So it's asking us, are there any decomposers? We've used the question as a frame. Okay? Yeah. And remember, you can use your book. The model it's talking about is on the page before, or it's this punctuation. Yeah, but other than that, that's all. And remember, if it's asking about a specific ecosystem, like the ocean, and this specific one that we went over, focus on that, not a forest or something else, okay? Lowercase.